Do you love waking up early in the morning, struggling to figure out what to do with your hair? We've all had our share of bad hair days. Are you ready for a change? Lock it and love it with Lock and Love Salon, conveniently located at 8117 Liberty Road, Windsor Mills, Maryland. Start your lock journey today. Lock and Love's professional services and artistic designs will keep you blazing in the hottest trends while maintaining and protecting your hair. Honey, Lock and Love is an experience. Once you try Lock and Love Salon, you won't try anyone else. Lock and Love offers starter and maintenance locks, fox locks, detox, shampooing and conditioning, lock treatment, lock extension, coloring, and much more. Sorry, but Lock and Love doesn't accept walk-ins. What are you waiting for? Call 410-970-3791 to set up your appointment today. Lock and Love is on Facebook, so remember to like, follow, and share.
It is. I told you people, you get it how you live. I was just talking. But again, it is your girl Pusher. If you're not pushing forward, you're moving backward. Say it out loud. Forward ever, backwards never. No, say that thing out loud. Forward ever, backwards never. There is still time for you to purchase your book. It Takes One to Know One. And People Pusher. It is not too late. Travel over to pusherlife.org. Go to the office page and get your copy today. And take part of our initiative, healing 1 million people, one person at a time. But we're starting with ourselves. As always, I thank you all for showing up. Everyone in the chat be chatting. I think I have the best chat in the world because you are not spectators. You come in and you participate, and we all grow together. And for that, thank you. You could be anywhere on this, I don't know, rainy snow day, whatever this evening is, wherever you are. I just want to say you could be doing anything, but because you are here with us pushing forward, thank you. So, oh yeah, your girl has been nominated for an award. Black Girls Rock is sponsoring an award for women and men that does things in their community that are prolific. Listen, I'm still flabbergasted. I don't know who nominated me, but I'm going to Philly. And then that is coming up. And then I have been nominated for a newly published author who writes with the intent to empower healing. I have been nominated for that. So I will be in DC at the end of March, seeing if I won or not. But I am not tripped up on that just to have that experience. So whoever out there who submitted my name or who talked about me, thank you. I don't think that I'm all deep and special. I just show up being myself. Absolutely. And so I definitely appreciate the honor. I do not take it lightly. I know God has his hands on me and favor ain't fair. But thank you, God. I really, really do. So without further ado, we got all that out of the way. This is popular demand. These two ladies is what popular demand. So today it is no secret. We are talking about the impact of It Takes One to Know One. So whoever wants to go first, however you want it to go, that is how it is going to go. But before it go, I need you to remind the people of who you are and what is it that you bring to the pusher community.
You want to go first, Tyra? Sure, I sure
Okay.
can.
Oh,
Well,
that must be
hello,
it.
everybody. Good afternoon. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Well, my name is Tyra, also known as Tyra the Poet. And what I bring to the Pusher community is myself and just all the love and support I can bring to this beautiful young lady that is trying to help 1 million women, one woman at a time. So I am just one of those women that is here in support of what you do.
Thank you. Thank you. I
Absolutely.
appreciate that.
And I'm Joyce Butler, and I do have a online radio show called Conversations with Joy B. Daughter's been on there several times. We have conversations all the time. And what I bring to the pusher community is I'm a coach's coach. I love to help people. I love to help women. Real quick story. Recently, I was trying to help this young lady, um, 33 years old with 7 children, and she'd gotten sentenced to 30 days in jail. And I was devastated. I mean, I cried, I cried, I cried, I cried. But then I realized that she's not going there for herself. It's somebody there who needs her, who needs to hear what she has to say. So that's all I want to say about that.
All right, so let's get into it. We're talking about the impact of It Takes One to Know One. Can anyone speak about the impact? I got my
Yes. It's I know for me it has just touched me. So
Well, Miss Joyce, I'll let you. We'll take turns going first.
okay, all right, good deal, good deal. Okay, so this book. So I was carrying this book around and at red lights, you know, I'm reading this book and I was like, Joy, you can't read at red lights. It's just, you got to stop it. So I just like, are we gonna focus on like the question that I have right now, daughter? You want me to read and then ask you the question? Or
you can do it however your spirit leads you.
okay, so you cool with that, Tyra?
Yes,
You
ma'am.
cool with that, Tyra? Okay, so I am on page 28. And so I'm going to read this excerpt, and then you start telling me about I'm going to ask you a question. Okay, so it says, I used to attend church services regularly, but during a particularly dark season, I found that some volunteers were using the pulpit to speak negatively about me. One lady even tried to save me because of rumors she'd heard without ever asking if they were true. It was hurtful to realize that the people whom I had helped through their own challenges were now turning against me and saying all sorts of negative things. What's worse is that some of the people who claimed to love me and whom I had helped in the past were now trying to drag me down. It was a painful experience to feel that the very people I had lifted out of spiritual darkness were now trying to push me back into it.
That
Wow.
part.
Yes, that part. I like this, because I consider you a daughter, that it makes me cry, because so tell me, like, what was going on besides, there's always something else going on in the background, back there that you may not have written in this book. So what was going on, and how did you get out of that period of darkness?
So, do you want me to be honest?
Yep,
Honest,
I
like, bro.
do. I do. I absolutely do.
We
So,
definitely want you to be honest.
I am going to be as honest as my spirit will allow me to be, knowing
Okay.
that the explanation, the story behind that is coming.
Okay. All right.
But what
So,
I will give is some truth.
okay.
Real
I'm
talk.
willing to accept any little tidbit you give me.
Real talk. There was during this particular time, I was struggling. There was a person that I had esteemed as a leader, and it was actually the first woman that my spirit received as a spiritual mother.
Okay.
I looked at her. I can say that she is responsible for 85% of my growth, my spiritual growth and development. I would say 75.
Okay.
Because there are other people, but I'm saying intentional. There was a time that she had to disappoint me, which means she had to let me know that she was retiring. And
Okay.
retiring meant I would no longer get the privilege to sit up underneath her and soak up
Wow.
her teaching, soak up, pray with her. That cultivation. She is the first woman that gave me the opportunity to teach. She
Okay.
is the woman that gave me the opportunity to preach. This woman has done so much for me. And mind you, I'm still young. And I did not know how to deal with that disappointment.
Right.
So what I did was become manipulative, spiritually manipulative.
Okay.
I began to put people in my space that I knew should not be in my space.
And you did it on purpose, daughter?
Yes, ma'am. I have to be honest about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just, yeah.
Yeah. I did not know how to deal with the disappointment. I did not know how to deal with the abandonment. I was selfish. I was only concerned about how I felt, and I didn't have no idea of how I would function. I'm telling you where I come from.
Right.
My way of thinking. And because I oftentimes relied on my writing to answer my own questions.
Yep. Couple of pages. Well,
Every
next page
day,
you answer your own question. Yeah.
every day I left her, I would go back and journal and ask my heart questions. And although I believed at that time that I was writing to my heart, I was writing to God. And what God was, what he was able to do was really show me, even in the midst of me being ugly. Instead of communicating, I didn't know how. Instead of communicating, I'm hurting. I'm starting to feel lost. I don't know what I'm going to do if you leave me. Instead of just communicating that, I drew back to what I knew. And that was isolate my emotions.
Mm-hmm.
That was put that toxicity, what I was used to.
Right.
Feeling voids and feeling emptiness. So before it could go that far, I began to sit with people and eat with people. And even though I knew that nothing would go no further, I had other people in the background watching me. But while I was in this dark place, those people that were watching me was not helping me. What they were doing was speculating and spreading rumors and going back and forth to different people and talking. But no one had the audacity to come to me.
Even on the pulpit.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So as a result of that, and mind you, I am aware that we only functioned according to what was in us at that time. So I fault no one. I blame no one. It just is what it is. I was in a dark place.
Yeah.
And I came out of that journaling, and I still pushed myself, even when I made unpleasant decisions to behave in a way in which I knew in my heart wasn't right. I began to dig myself up out of that. I showed up in church, even when I knew people didn't want me there. I showed up in church, even though I didn't want to be there. I showed up in church, even when I knew the preacher was preaching about me.
Wow.
Personally.
But God.
Yeah.
I still showed up.
But God.
Wow.
That's the work that I was doing.
Bravery. That's bravery. That's what it is.
I didn't realize it. I didn't realize it back then. I only got the clarity now that I can fully see. And absolutely. I'm at a place where I can take accountability. So when you're at a place when you can take accountability for you, you don't see nobody else.
That's courageous. Yeah.
Because the problem is you. It starts and stops. You give people ammunition to do whatever it is that they do or say. We give them ammunition. And so the day that I decided to stand up in my own mess and take it, that's when the healing started for me.
Wow.
Don't give too much of it away now, sis.
Right. right. No, because I'm like this. I'm like this. Like, okay, let me listen to what daughter is saying. Yeah. And I'm gonna go back and watch it again.
Okay. So wait a minute. Let me do a little commercial break and welcome this lovely lady right here. Can you introduce yourself to the people, lovely lady?
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Mona Lisa McLean.
Okay. So fix your name, Miss Mona Lisa, because you got David.
That is her son's name.
Yeah, that's my I tried every way I could to get into this. So I did.
But you're here. You're here.
Yes. So we're just talking about the impact of It Takes One to Know One. And Miss Joyce Butler had a question for me, and I was just answering it, and I went on a rant. But so okay, so that's where we at. We're talking about the impact.
I had to know, absolutely.
And it's okay. So that's what we're talking about. Whatever questions you have, whatever came up for you, that is what we are talking about. And we're just having a conversation. That's all we're doing. It's having a conversation.
All right. So did you want me to go next?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So first I'm going to answer your question, and then I'm going to follow up with a question.
Of course you are.
So to answer your question, for me, I love how I feel like you went from the earlier part of your life and how you just took us on a journey, and how you just broke it up into different, I want to say, seasons. And like I said before, it just captivated me to want to go back and read the different insights to your book. And so one of the ones that really spoke to me was, I think I told you on the last one, was the letter that you wrote to your 13-year-old self. And just, speaking to yourself in a third person like that. And it just was so refreshing. And just, I felt a connection to it, because almost every word that you spoke, I felt like even though you were writing it to yourself, it was for so many other people that felt that way. So it resonated, in me so much. And so I just want to say thank you for that. And so my question for you pertaining to that note that you wrote to your 13-year-old self, and telling yourself, to be more brave, and to just to know that you are beautiful, and just everything that you wrote. Are you now listening to that person? Are you now doing the things that you told yourself to do? That note that you wrote to your 13-year-old self, are you now taking that advice?
Yes, and it's so overwhelming. It is. Oh my goodness. Sometimes it's so overwhelming. I feel suffocated. And I just say that to say, because I really didn't believe at one time. Like, I didn't believe. Although I had dreams and I had aspirations, and I learned to see at some point in my heart, if I be honest, I still didn't believe, because it wasn't happening. And then when you get one disappointment after another disappointment after another disappointment, eventually internally you give up. Now, what I can do very well is mask my reality, my appearance. I can look the part. I can fit in, but in the inside, I'm broken, I'm bleeding, I'm messy, I'm torn up. I don't want to live like that no more, which is why I live the life that I live. I refuse to continue to suffer in silence. And every now and then, that 13-year-old girl comes up.
I know that's right.
And I had to put her in her place. See, I'm still in my healing process because I know why I had to talk to that 13-year-old girl. I had to write that letter to her because she still had mommy issues. She still was putting responsibilities on mommy that she needed to take on herself as an adult. See, at some point, I had to reason with myself. And so every now and then she comes up and I put it right back in her place. I'm self-aware. So I recognize certain pain, where it comes from. When I'm triggered, certain smells, I'm aware and I know how to deal with it. And then those times when I don't know how to deal with it, Calvary comes all the time.
That's right.
Now, today, why? Because I don't hide. I don't hide.
Well, that part where you actually said to yourself that you are important, you are somebody, and just know that you are. And I'm just so glad to know that you're to a point now where you can acknowledge those things, because it goes so deep, especially to where you speak about actually, what you did to not be here anymore, and how God
Right.
fixed it for you to still be here. And you had to actually go to him and ask for forgiveness, because you are somebody, you are important. So I'm not gonna go too deep because you're gonna have me on here crying, honey.
Yeah,
But I thank God for you, because that could have been it. That could have been the end of your story. But thank God those 12 pills came back up, honey.
Yeah.
Because you were meant to be here. You are a blessing to so many people. So I just thank God. I thank God for you. You just don't know. So
and so I right now in this moment, for the first time, I can listen and receive it and breathe. Why? Because it takes one to know one. I know that you can see me because you see you. And so now in this moment, I can absorb all the affirmations with certainty. And what I hear is well done. And that's how I choose to receive it and hear it. God just simply saying, well done.
Yes, definitely.
Exactly
right.
right.
We haven't even spoke about the actual part of your book and your journal where we have to do the work.
Let's get into that.
That's a whole nother story.
Yeah, that's a whole letter. I did find the first letter that I wrote to my 13-year-old.
I don't see Mona. Her screen is dark.
Yeah, I thought she took her took her face down. But I did find that letter the other week, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is my first letter to my 13-year-old self. Because I was on Daughter's show. You were on mine first, and then but the show was dedicated to her. And so I read the letter that I wrote to my 13-year-old self, and then I thought I lost it. So I wrote another letter to my 13-year-old self, and then I recently found it, and I was like, oh my goodness. So I'm going to staple it in my book. I have both of them now.
Okay, great. And so you definitely know the difference between your first letter that you wrote and then you were doing the work, and then you wrote another letter. You definitely could see the difference.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah, and we talked about that. So I'm glad you were able to retrieve that letter, especially so that you can reread it and knowing that you have read another one and read it with so much more confidence.
Absolutely.
And excitement. Absolutely. And so, yes, I'm definitely happy for you for that breakthrough. Definitely.
There's Miss Mona Lisa.
There she go.
She's back. I don't know what I'm doing, y'all. Please forgive me. I'm trying.
Listen. It is okay.
We all trying to maneuver.
Look, I was talking at the beginning, was on mute. So listen.
Yeah, she was.
That's what it is. This is what it is. We're in our living room, and so people just invited, and I was and that's what happens sometimes.
We just chilling. Yeah, we just.
So okay, So Mona, when did you read the lesson where the letter that I wrote to my 13-year-old self?
Yes.
What did you get out of that for you?
I mean, you basically, explained everything, like, from your youth trauma. And, I mean, I picked up on a lot of it, and I actually have the book sitting right beside me because I take the book to work at night, and so that's how I was able to get through. But I mean, it was very inspiring to me. Everything that you wrote, like, I mean, people don't understand you unless you can understand yourself.
True.
And I mean, you really, put a lot of great pointers out there for a lot of people to, gravitate to. And, it really opened up a lot, with me because I didn't, I know you for who you are, but I didn't know that you were that powerful with this book. And it was very amazing.
Oh
Mhm.
wow, I appreciate that.
It was. And
And,
that's why I had to let you know I reached out to let you know that I did read the whole thing.
yeah,
And what I
you
should have
did.
did when I was reading was jotting down everything that I wanted to say on the little note part, but I didn't. So,
You will.
but yes, it
You
was
will.
very inspiring.
You will. Okay, y'all are something else. I have a question for y'all. How about that?
Okay.
I have a question for y'all. Well, I don't have a question. I'm actually, let me put my glasses on because I can't see. So I'm going to say something to you. I'm going to read something, and I want you to tell me what you hear for yourself. Okay.
Okay.
No one can truly define who you are. They can make assumptions, suggestions, or keep wondering. But only you have the power to know yourself fully. Self help guides, groups, and books can be helpful, but they cannot fully mobilize or desensitize your internal environment. There is only one source that has the power to reach the sensitive places within you.
Oh, I
What do
know
you hear?
right off the bat. Right off the bat.
I
Go ahead, Tyra. Go ahead.
no, I'm just gonna say just the first words that came to mind was just self-love. Those were the first two words when you started speaking that just came to mind. I just feel like um, knowing yourself and self-love. So those were the first two words that just came to mind. Knowing yourself and your identity, and that just all equates to love for self.
Right, right.
Yes.
And so what I heard was, to thine own self be true, that I can show up as Joyce Butler. I don't have to worry about anybody else's opinion of me. I can just show up and be me.
Wow.
I
What
got
you
some of the same similarities about that as well. You opened up to let everybody know that this was your journey now.
That's right.
It's not about other people, it was about you.
That's right. And they can tell their story, There may be some similarities, there may not be,
Yes.
but you can show up, as a Sabi, and not be concerned about what somebody has to say about you. Oftentimes, I tell people, they be like, "Joy, you just getting on my nerves because you just think so much of yourself," and I'm like, I am. I do think a lot of myself. And I
As you
tell,
should.
what I
As
tell
you
them?
should.
I am not confused. I am convinced. You know, I say that all the time. Like, what other, thing can I think about myself? But I also say I'm not better than anybody and nobody's better than me. I'm
Mhm.
flipping that thing,
Yes. Yes.
I'm being true to myself.
I'm sorry, y'all blowing my mind. I'm not, but it is what it is. I'm absorbing it. I'm taking it in. I'm hearing it.
I
I'm
have another
receiving it.
question too,
Who said that?
Tyra. I got all kinds of questions for you today.
What's
Okay,
your question, Sugar.
I'm gonna ask one more question, then I'll stop because I'm saying okay. So, Asabi, one of the things that you also talk about in your book is that after serving over 19 years is when you just started to kind of find yourself. So, and my question is, why so long? Like, what was going on before that 19 years of incarceration that you weren't able to find yourself? I know that you studied different religions. I know that you turned to different people within that time that you thought were going to be like mentors that turned out not to be. But what happened before those 19 years that took so long for you to be able to start to find your own identity?
Experiences. You read them all, mostly, not all, not even most, a few of experiences that I had. You see the journey. Even and I mean this sincerely. I've had some amazing people, come see about me while I was incarcerated. I've had some amazing teachers. I've had some amazing mentors. But even in all of that, I still wasn't operating in my own truth, in my own belief. I was operating in what was being taught to me. Because the one thing that was missing was somebody to tell me, just be yourself. Just tell the truth. Whatever you feel, just say it. Whatever you're thinking, just say it. And so if you really, really journey with me in the workbook and journal, you will see that I have a pattern, especially a spiritual pattern, a religious pattern, a social pattern. You will see that I take me everywhere I go, right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm going to show up. Whatever state I'm in, I'm going to show up the best way I know how, even if it's toxic. You get that throughout these patterns, and you see me seeking for something other than what I had, because it was something in me was saying, this is not enough. Something is missing.
I can see that.
In every aspect of every pivotal, because that's what I did. I only shared pivotal experience that was in my life that really charged me to become the woman that I am today, if that makes sense. And so in that, you definitely will see a pattern, and it challenges you to see if in your own life, do you have patterns? See, my patterns as it relates to leaders, as soon as you show up and it sounds good and it looks good, because remember, I got incarcerated when I was 18. And before that, I was incarcerated psychologically. So let's say from the age of 13, from 1980, 90 something up into 2020. I was oppressed. I was incarcerated psychologically and emotionally and spiritually. But in my journey, you always see me seeking. And whatever it is that I sought out in that moment, I embraced it. Did that make sense?
Did you start the book in prison, daughter? Did you start it, or did you? Okay, so you had a lot of
my journal. You read my journal. This is a journal that I wrote. So let's back up. With that piece that I wrote, that I read to y'all, that's out of the introduction, the first paragraph out of the introduction. That is what I had to tell myself. Okay. I didn't write this for y'all.
That's right.
I swear I did. I'm sorry. I did not think about y'all, didn't know y'all, didn't see y'all, had no
right.
I said that to myself. It's just that now I have the tenacity. I am audacious. I have the audacity to share. That which I wanted to keep secret.
Absolutely. Living out loud.
It wasn't meant for you to keep to yourself.
Absolutely. I always say that. You didn't go through that for you. You went through that for somebody else. And you know what else I thought about, daughter? Around the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous, they always say, wherever you go, you go. So,
That's right.
You want to go there? Oh, you're going. You're going to take you with you too. So
That's right.
just be careful. Yeah.
That's right. You take you everywhere you go.
Everywhere you go, you go. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I ain't gonna trick y'all no more because I be thinking I'm gonna trick y'all and then y'all come back with something else.
Exactly.
So I'm
Exactly.
gonna ask all three of y'all, and I'm gonna start with Mona. Go to Tyra, and then go to you, Mother.
Okay.
What after? So all three of y'all have different relationships with me. No different aspects of me, and so reading this book, and then once you read it, and then when you seen me, what was one of the first things that came to your mind?
Well, I saw you before I read it.
Right. So I'm saying after you read it and when you seen me, or after you read it, what came to your mind, knowing you see me as often or as much? What came to your mind?
I mean, to read the book and to read all of the,
She's
Yeah, I
having
tried to
a
get it
problem with
before.
her
I tried to
internet.
get it before
Yeah.
it went out. And she's on
Yeah.
her phone, so people probably
oh,
calling and
Oh,
stuff
there.
like.
yeah, it's a mess over here. But I mean, from everything that I read, like I said, I looked at all of the people that were accounted and with what you were writing. And like I said, it was questionable to me, you know. I mean, all of the people that you dealt with once upon a time, they actually are null and void now, because that was to strengthen your areas in life. And sometimes they say everybody is not happy for you or your journey. So the journey that you're on is very pleasing to me as far as everything that you wrote. You actually sat down and come on with it. Excuse me, y'all. I apologize. The next time I'll just put my phone on do not disturb because this is getting annoying. I did tell a couple of people that I was going to be doing this, and I think
Mhm.
that it's rude right now. But I just want to reach out and say I apologize.
It's okay.
Um, yes, I mean, it was a lot. Where do I fit in? Speak up, a note to self. You have all of the titles right there for everything that you've wrote. And it is categorized. So, when you're looking in, I can ask questions. I mean, it was like, it was the people treating you different for me. You
Oh, yeah. She went out again.
and all the you know,
All right, your
journey.
Wi-Fi
And
breaking
I,
up.
s- I saw that. Can you hear me
Okay.
now?
Yeah, we heard you. You was just choppy because the internet is going in and out.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
But
And
yeah,
then
we
the
heard.
people keep trying to call me. But yeah, like I said, it was very inspiring that you had to push away from all of those negative people in your life. And I know that when people see you do better, like say, when you know better, you do better.
Hmm.
And like I said, everybody is not happy for your journey. That's the part for me. I was really pleased with the way that you pushed everybody away and you started thinking about you first. Because actually, you do come first. You can't love somebody else if you're not loving you.
that is
And
true.
that's
Hmm.
it comes it comes with self. Like I really understand. Like I've been through a lot of things in my life as well. And like I said, I had to find structure with myself.
Hmm.
I It wasn't about somebody judging me. or, telling me who they think I should be or who they want me to be. I have to be who I have to be for me first,
That's right.
because
Right.
I can't please everybody.
Right.
You make
So
So
yourself sick.
yeah, what I definitely can appreciate, because the intent is not necessarily to be consumed in my process, but to provoke, to see if you got some stuff that you need to, work out.
Absolutely.
yeah,
That's why it's called "It Takes One to Know One." So I definitely can
yes,
appreciate that. And that's why I asked. I wanted to know what was the thought, or what was the feeling, or what was, because it's different for everybody.
yes.
You know, go ahead, Tyra.
I would say for me, the difference between, wait, so just to make sure I have the question correct, you wanted to know the difference between when I first met you and now after reading the book, how I feel about you?
When you first met me, up until
Mhm.
the point of reading "It Takes One to Know One," after that, what was your thought process?
Um, so to mention, just the first time I met you was, I believe, almost about 3 years ago, and yourself and my daughter were receiving an award from trivia. And
Oh yeah.
um, before even knowing that we were going to be sisters, before even
Exactly.
knowing we were going to be in the ladies' league, I turned around and I just heard this voice, and I'm not going to say it the way you did because I don't remember the exact numbers, but your boldness when you got up there and you were like, "Hello, and my name is," and instead of saying a name, I just remember you saying a
I
number.
said 916-063-190-1766.
Yes, and I was
No
like,
longer. It is gone.
Yes, absolutely.
but
Absolutely.
right then and there, I was like,
No, let me see
I
something.
like her.
Mhm.
I like her. Lord, I don't, we could have never seen each other again, but, and I swear to you not, I said, before I leave here, I got to get her number. I got to know who she is, because it's just something about your spirit that just, I felt it. And to now know you at a deeper level, to now be your sister, and to now have read your book, all it did was just confirm what my spirit had already told me, that
Okay.
you are something special. And so it only, that's all it really did. It just enlightened me more to know more about you. It helped me to know that I wasn't wrong when I felt that way. Like, I have to get like a certain vibe for people, and to be in their space and to want to be in their space.
Yeah.
And I'm just thankful because now, after reading It Takes One to Know One, and also the other book, I'm also, I believe, on chapter 3,
Okay.
Pusher. So I know we're talking about this one right now, but I'm into the other one as well. It excites me to be a part of your journey. Yes. So
Absolutely.
No,
yeah, so to answer your question, it just
so I
made
need
me
that one.
um more self-aware of who you are, and your ability to speak, and how you can control a room and a space. And then also, um the opposite effect is that you're bold and you're loud in a powerful way, but then you're also this shy, humble person, because that same boldness, like when we're out and we go on outings and things, like, you're so meek and you're so humble and you're so quiet. And so I'm like, okay, I get all of it. So you're not always, when we're out, like, trying to demand the attention of the room. You're just your loving, caring self. So um, if I went over my time, I'm sorry, but I got so much
No,
to
you
say
good.
about you. It's
No,
crazy.
you good. But I can't wait to brag the show, because that's deep. That's how I kid you not. I remember the us getting the award, because that was my first one coming out the gate. Somebody nominated me, and I believe I received the community overcomer award.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I received a youth award, and so that's how we came together.
Right, but I did not know that why I felt such a connection. I didn't connect that moment to my connection that I had with her today. I didn't connect that. So it was like, wow, really? Yeah, I got the pictures, the show for it. I never connected that. So wow. Okay.
Wow.
I'm going somewhere with this. Just stay with me. I'm going somewhere.
Okay. I'm gonna say, yeah, there she is. Yeah, she gonna bless us in a minute. But when I met daughter, I knew that she was this powerful woman who had, been through these challenges. And when I heard her speak, I had a women's conference, and remember, Don't Tap Out, daughter.
Yeah.
And I got her to come and speak. And she is the only one who did not write her stuff down. She did not write it down. That was her topic, Blacknificent. And let me tell you, she killed it. She absolutely killed it, because I'm looking around. I was like, oh, daughter's not going to show up. She's not going to show up. But she did. She absolutely walked up on, she was a powerful woman then. And sometimes we don't realize that about ourselves. But I tell people all the time, every time somebody puts a mic in your face, have something positive to say, have something powerful today. That's why, like, I thought she was powerful at that time. And then, some years went by, and I'm getting ready to do another women's conference. And I know she's going to be as even more powerful. But that's what I thought.
So this is where I'm going at. So thank you all. I appreciate it. So let me see how many minutes I got. All right. So this is where I'm going at. It takes one to know one, right? It takes one to know one. You cannot recognize what's in me or around me if you can't recognize what's in you and around you. Good, bad, or indifferent. It doesn't matter. So let me tell you where the breakthrough for me coming at, and the impact that it takes one to know one have on my life. Today, I'm showing up just simply being myself. See, back then, I was showing up broken. I was showing up wounded. And people did the best that they could. They just was making Lord disciples of themselves and doing what they could with what they had. That's what I'm going to say. But the difference today is I am intentional about who is in my space. I am intentional about who I sit down and have a conversation with. And I'm saying I'm doing this because at the end of the day, I got to protect me. I know what triggers me.
Right.
I know what will upset me. I know what will hurt my feelings. I'm only talking about what I know. It takes one to know one tells me if you are wounded, because we are in relationship, if you are wounded, God will press upon my heart to do something, say something to help you think a different way. It's not my job to fix. It's not my job to make nobody feel better. It's my responsibility to give you to try to give you a different perspective, because ultimately you got to make the decision.
True.
It takes one to know one. This is the kind of conversations I have to have with myself in order to be effective to have it with someone else.
Come on now.
So it takes one to know one. Say today, what I'm choosing to do. If someone speaks affirmations to me, I will receive it. I won't shrink back. I won't feel guilty. I won't apologize. I won't go at the end of the day be like, well, I ain't going to do nothing with that. No, thank you, God, because I know the source and I remember. And so every chance, that's why I say I only speak when I got something to say. If I don't have nothing to say, I ain't saying nothing.
Saying nothing at all.
That's right. That's right.
Why?
Because
I am in the people business. I live my life to simply heal out loud in hopes that someone will catch on.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes the person for me back then and the woman that I am today. I'm choosing and I'm healing out loud. If it don't feel right, I'm going to let you know. If it don't sound right, I'm going to question it. If it don't look right, I might go the other way. Why? Because at the end of the day, I got to protect my anointing.
That's exactly right. Yes. That's right.
And I say all of that to say it takes one to know one. I know you are, but what am I? I can recognize these things in me. Therefore, I can recognize them in you three. It is not by accident. God don't just put people in my way for nothing. He just don't. As I'm sure that he doesn't connect you today, the women that you are today, I know that God protects you. Shell tells me all the time, almost every day she says that God protects babies and fools. I think she said every day, at least once a day when we are together. God protects babies and fools. Well, I know I ain't no baby.
I know that's right. I know
that's right.
So thank you, Lord, for protecting me. Because sometimes we need protection
I'll be a fool.
Me too. I'm telling you, we all are fools sometimes. Yes. That's exactly right.
Yes. And so I want to know, so this is where the shift coming in. There is someone watching. There is someone that will be watching. Remember, we're talking about it takes one to know one. There's someone who made an unpleasant decision today. There's someone who did something contrary to what you believe is good. There is someone who did something that's probably unforgivable. There is someone who shows up and they are unlovable in our minds and in our hearts. There is someone who they said something and it was distasteful. In this moment, I'm saying it takes one to know one. What you all say to him or her or them. If you and this is your only opportunity to say it, what would you say? And keep in mind, it takes one to know one.
To know one.
And I'm not gonna pick nobody. So who gonna be brave and speak first? We got 10 minutes.
Well, for me, when I have to boldly say something to someone, it comes across as a poem, and I would make it a powerful part of the poem. I would say, listen, imagine looking in the mirror and not loving yourself. You're hoping, you're wishing, even praying that you look like someone else. Why? Is it because someone never told you how beautiful you are? That everything about you was perfect, even down to your scars? Because if they did, then imagine looking in that same mirror and saying, yes, I am enough. I don't need all of that extra stuff. I'm going to embrace it all. My freckles, my curves, my dark spots, my vibe, my intelligence, my brown skin hue. I would tell you, look in that mirror and baby, love every single thing about you.
Yes.
Excellent.
Okay.
Excellent.
It takes one to know one. Who next?
It takes one to.
And I remember the first time that we literally had a conversation, and I was expressing to you how I was feeling, and this wasn't so long ago, and we really had a deep conversation, and it was like you were pushing me then. Like, you can do this. You can do this. And I sat there and I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? I can do this. And here I am today. She pushed me.
Indeed. Right. I ain't gonna talk about it too bad, but this lady is a tough cookie. I'm trying to tell you. She is.
Well, she was holding on something, and you trying to push her daughter, and she just holding like she's like, oh no.
Yes. She is not easily moved. Yeah. So it got to be something in me that is greater than me, because this lady does not move easily. I'm trying to tell you, but I love you and I appreciate you for showing up and sharing. You don't understand this does to my heart. It takes one to know one, I assure you. We going somewhere with these little bit of seconds we got left.
I know. It takes one to know one. Real quickly, what I would say is it is okay not to be okay. Whatever you need to do, it's okay. If you need to, and I tell you all the time, don't I, daughter? When I'm angry, and she'll say it, she'll say, now sit in that for a minute. And if that's what you need to do, sit in it. If just don't wallow in it, don't stay there forever, but sit in it until you experience that. You might not even know what you're looking for, but sit in it. Just absolutely make sure that I'm not going to wallow in this thing that I'm going through. I'm going to sit right there. If it takes me 10 minutes, to get to the point that I need to be. I have a problem with using profanity all the time. So in the mornings when I get up, I'll be like, Joy, guess what? You're not going to curse today. And I did it. I didn't curse today. Just go with it. Go with that feeling. So that's what I would say. It takes one to know one.
And so what you all did was just challenge yourself for the rest of the week. So this is the challenge. You said it, not me. It takes one to know one.
It takes one to know one.
So because we are in a land of the living, we know when we come out of our safe haven, when we come out of our bubble and we're no longer self-absorbed, when we go out and participate out there in our community, somebody going to piss us off. Somebody going to say something to irritate us. We're going to get that phone call that's going to take us to 100. I want you to bring yourself back to this moment, to what you just said. It takes one to know one. And the way that you responded from what I gave, I said the unlovable. I said those that come across as unforgivable. I said those that agitate, those that frustrate. Those are the people that I called out. And so everyone responded in a way in which that connects them back to themselves. So that means we will put forth the effort to speak in love, no matter what. Because guess what? How you respond and how you show up, you're accountable for that. It has nothing to do with the other person or the people. So the challenge is, remember, it takes one to know one. The only reason why I can say this and do it, and it looks so effortlessly, because I remember when I was unlovable. I remember when I wanted to wipe myself out because I felt unloved and I felt unworthy and I felt like people didn't care. And I acted out. I was misbehaving because I didn't know what to do with that pain.
Right.
And I'm saying there's a whole lot of me's out there. And they in y'all lives. They in y'all space.
Absolutely.
You walk past them every now and then. You sit down and eat with them every now and then. They cross your mind every now and then. And I'm saying it takes one to know one. Are you going to keep paying attention to the deficit? Because that person isn't where you are. And so you got to give them grace. And I was reminded the other day, don't forget about mercy. Because we freely give away grace, but we ain't giving away no mercy. And I'm saying you can't give one and don't give the other.
That's
why?
Right.
Because not only does God favor you, but he also holds back that which you do deserve. So are we bigger than God? So this week, the challenge is it takes one to know one. I refuse to see the deficit. I refuse to be consumed in what you are doing that's unpleasant to me. I'm going to see the good in you. But as I see the good in you, I'm going to need you to slide over there. I'm going to need you to slide over there until you get yourself gathered. So don't forget, we still got boundaries. All I'm saying is,
come on now. Yes.
The breakthrough comes when you make a decision to love unconditionally.
Absolutely.
When you make the decision to put your best foot forward, it's no need to sit in it and consume yourself in it. Why? Because it does no harm to nobody but you.
That's right. You can be concerned, but not consumed.
One life. We get 24 hours.
What's in a day?
Yeah.
When I look in your eyes, I want to see a reflection of me. That's how I show up. I look for myself. And how I can see myself, because if you got something that is conducive to my growth and development, I'm going to get some of that.
That's exactly right.
I can humble myself enough to know that I can learn from anybody.
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 That's right.
Once to know one. I appreciate you all. I thank y'all for showing up for me. I thank you for showing up for yourself. I thank you for taking part of this initiative, healing 1 million people, one person at a time. If you have not taken the pledge, I'm going to need you to go over to PUS'HERlife.org. The link it will pop right up. If you go on your phone, you will have it's 4 bars. Hit the 4 bars and you will see the link, healing 1 million people, one person at a time. Take this pledge. We're going somewhere. All I'm doing is stepping out on faith. I seen a little of the vision, but I'm just stepping out on faith. Take the pledge, become a part of the solution and not continue to be a part of the problem. Choose what side of the conversation you want to be on. For us, we pushing forward. We pushing forward.
Never back.
Are healing out loud. That's right. Forward ever, backwards never. As always, you are. Do y'all want to give a shout out? Say something real quick before I officially close.
Oh, I want to say something real quick, daughter. I remember my number 2. The only thing I remember about it is when they said 854, pack it up. That's what I remember. 854. I played in the lottery and everything. Pack it up.
I know, that's right.
Oh man, where was I? Oh yeah, I was in my. Oh yeah, I remember too. Lord. All right, real quick, y'all want to give a shout out? Say something to somebody.
I just want to say thank you again for having me. It was fun as always. Love meeting new people. Got to do it again.
Yes.
Just shout out to LLOB, and I just give God all the glory. That was some bars that was around without me even trying. God is good.
Exactly. High Def Tone said bars.
I know that's right.
So get my number from daughter, because I have a friend who does a poet. You know.
Okay, I will exchange numbers. I will do all of that. But that I'm getting that.
She can give you my number. I want to introduce you to him.
I appreciate everyone in the chat. I will do something to bring everyone together in one room. Just be patient with me. I want to be in everyone's presence that has been on the show thus far. I will work it out. I will get your schedules to see your availability, and I will do something for you all because it has been impressed upon my heart. I really, really appreciate you. You in the chat, you always come through. You always show up, and I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. This is our time. We will be back. This is not the first or the last that you will see of us. So until next time, it is your girl Pusher. If you're not pushing forward, you're moving backwards. Say it out loud. Forward ever, backwards never.
Backwards never.
That's right.
That's how cute. Until next time, I see you next week on Wednesday at 6:30.
Yep.
I came home and I came to the Philemon house. Best thing I ever did. They supplied me the resources to accomplish my dreams. At the same token, allowed me and encouraging me to stay focused on the hill from which cometh my help. After 90 days of being on house arrest, I finally got out and I got a job. I didn't have a pair of shoes to go and perform my job, as boots was required for one of the things. And guess what? Somebody from the Lehman house came and bought me a pair of boots. When that happened, people say that's the smallest things, but guess what? That was a big deal for me, you know? And Sister Tracy came and I told her about that. She went to the store and bought me a pair of boots. I wore the soles out them boots.